I'm going to show you now how we classify and identify our macroinvertebrates. We've got two lots of worksheets I'll show you here. The first one down the side here, this is for your lower primary groups. The next one is for our upper primary, as well as this dichotomous key for your upper primary and secondary students. I'll run you through a couple of these macroinvertebrates to show you how to key them out. Lucky enough, we've got our electronic microscope as well. We'll look at some of these under the microscope to give you a bit more of a close-up look at what they actually look like. We've got this sheet here that we're going to fill out, and it'll give us a score on pollution sensitivity. Now, some of these animals are very sensitive. Other animals are very tolerant. So thinking about your hypothesis, what macroinvertebrates would you expect to be in our dam based on your hypothesis? If you said our dam is very healthy, then you would expect to see which type of macroinvertebrate? You'd expect to see these ones, the sensitive ones. They can't live in polluted waters. Can a tolerant or very tolerant one live in both polluted and clean water? Of course. And the really good example of that is our water boatman or our back swimmer. You've probably even seen them in your chlorinated pool at home. Very tolerant. So basically, to determine the health of our water system, we're looking for a certain type of macroinvertebrate. So have a think, which type do you think would tell us how healthy our dam is? All right, so using our sample we collected in our ice cube tray, what we've done is we've caught one of the macroinvertebrates and we've put this macroinvertebrate in this petri dish. What we're going to do is use these ID sheets and work out what actual macroinvertebrate this is. So let's look at the primary sheets to start with. They're quite easy. I can look through at these large drawings and see, what does it quite look like? Let's have a look. Is it a mayfly nymph? Let me go back and have a look. I don't think it's a mayfly nymph because see how they got this large tail behind them. So it's definitely not a mayfly nymph. Maybe I'll go to the next sheet. And if I have a look here, dragonfly nymph. Have a look over this one. That looks exactly like a dragonfly nymph. So what we're going to do is I go to my sheet. I have a look here where it says dragonfly nymph. I can see it's a tolerant animal. So go down here, tolerant, dragonfly nymph, tick if present, sensitivity rating 3. Then I can go over to this information. Let's have a look. Dragonfly nymph, tolerant, stout body, no external gills, extendable mouth parts. Habitat, found within the substrate of rivers and streams. Maximum size, 12 to 50 millimetres. If I have a look here on this one, this shows you where you're actually collecting the macroinvertebrates from. It shows you in what depth of water you'll actually find the macroinvertebrates. So the dragonfly nymphs are in the rocks and the detritus. So they're carnivores, they'll actually eat other macroinvertebrates. Now this is where the life cycle stage really comes in. And we might put a photo up of the life cycle. This is the larval stage of a dragonfly. So from here, this one will then molt and then turn into a dragonfly, which is pretty cool. Let's have a look at it under the microscope. Here we go. This is the dragonfly nymph under our electronic microscope. Just have a look at that head structure. Look at the mouth part there, you can see he wants to do a little bit of a jiggle. And it's really kind of neat. You can sort of see the dragonfly type eyes on that nymph. So that's a shot of his head. Let's get it. See if I can zoom in any further. That's about as far as you can zoom in. Look at that eye structure there. That's just beautiful. Here he goes for a little bit of a wander. Down his back here, and you can see quite incredible. Dragonfly nymph. Hey, so this is a dichotomous key. This is used for upper primary and your secondary groups. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to work through these questions to identify what we found before. So what I do is I go to number 1. Is it microscopic or bigger than microscopic? Well, I can see it with my eyes, so it's macro, so I go to 2. Does it have a shell or no shell? No shell, go to 3. Does it have legs or no legs? Well, it's got legs, so I go over the page to 4. 4. Does it have more than 3 legs or does it have 3 pairs of legs? Then I go, it's got 3 pairs of legs. Then I go to 5. No wings or wings? Well, it doesn't have wings yet, so it's actually no wings. Go to 6. 6. Tails? No obvious tail. Well, looking at that larvae, it doesn't actually have a obvious tail. So there's no obvious tail. I follow my arrows along, come down here. It's going to be one of these, and it is a dragonfly nymph. So we've correctly identified the dragonfly nymph. So this is our water boatman or back swimmer, some people refer them. You can see now that's a really great shot. So I'll see if I could just zoom in a bit more and focus that in. What an amazing little creature. So they're the ones you see in your swimming pool at home. Have a look at this one. This one's a really interesting one. We'll key this one out. Quite an interesting sort of head structure up here. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more on him. Try to get that head structure in the shot. Oh, he's very active. So we filled out our sheet inside our lab. After looking through our sample, we found a caddisfly larvae and a mayfly nymph larvae. Both of those are actually very sensitive macroinvertebrates, so it sort of demonstrates that the healthiness of that dam, that it is very healthy. Otherwise, the sensitive macroinvertebrates would not be there. Remember that caddisfly larvae, always check out your little bits of stick, because he lives inside that stick, the caddisfly larvae. Now thinking about that, that's an adaptation. Why would that macroinvertebrate need to live inside that stick? Hey, make sure you check out in the description. There's some further learning down there in the subscription if you want to do a little bit more. Please email us in any responses or any assessment that you do in regards to this macroinvertebrates. We're really happy to read through stuff, give you some information, answer it, have a look through any assessment that you do as well. Good luck out there at your home doing some of this sampling. Just be aware, as I said at the start, please don't go to a water body without an adult. It's always good to have an adult there with you, as well as a buddy as well. So just a reminder about that, always go to the water system with an adult and get an adult's help collecting that sample. All the best with the macroinvertebrate study.